Hi everyone, this is Justin from SpanishPlans.org. Today I'm going to show you how I used a Senor Wooly story in class to introduce our clothing or shopping unit. So the first day I am using as a basis Es una ganga story from Senor Wooly. So what I did is I took the still shots from the extras section if you have a subscription to Senor Wooly, and it's a PowerPoint of stills, and I tell the story like that. And so first, what I might be doing is using student actors to actually tell this story. Or I'm going to say that a student works at a store, they're bored, they have to work all day long, and I'm using that vocabulary, and I'm circling those words if they're new, but introducing the story with student actors. And I might use a PowerPoint, and I'm instructing the students what to say if there's any dialogue. So after that, I might go through this slideshow real quick and just review that story so they get to hear it a second time, get that extra repetition in. And I might use some props during the story. As we're class telling, if I need pictures of clothing, I can just print those out, or even cut them out. So the guy was looking for a camisa, or the guy was looking for camiseta. And so I have that. I can talk about the colors. I can talk about the clothing words. Maybe he was looking for a scarf or un gorro, whatever it happens to be. So we tell the story in class. Students are a little bit familiar. Now, I do not get very far in the story. I just stop when the guy hears something and he is looking around the store. I have not yet introduced that there are two people that have come into the store. So that's where the cliffhanger is. What I'm going to do to follow that up is I have a text. And again, it's a very similar story. It's basically the story written out. And then for each paragraph, I have a box. And the students have to illustrate what is happening. So they have to read, understand, and illustrate. Shows their comprehension. And then what you can do is have students compare with a partner to see who includes the most details, to make sure that they're really understanding everything in that paragraph, and then read. So I might put a timer on it and say, okay, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to draw this paragraph, and then I'll read the next paragraph, and they have another 1 minute and 30 seconds to draw. So you get to see some student samples of what that looks like. They turn out pretty good of what students understand from that story, and just by reading the text in Spanish and seeing what they can draw. Another thing that you can do as a follow-up is to take a text, again, change it up a little bit, not the same text, but something similar, and we're getting extra repetitions. Every time they're reading the story, they have those extra repetitions of the words. So we want to find ways that are novel, that the students get to read a text, reread a text, same story, using different words, so it's not completely the same. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an audio, and I post this to my Google Classroom, the audio file. So I have read it aloud, and now I put in blanks, and the students have to listen and fill in the blanks. So if I just did this without having an audio file, students may not be following along. They're just listening to the blanks. But with the audio file, it's going to run through the whole thing. They have to follow along, and so they're reading, they're hearing correct pronunciation. And what I had them do then at the end is go back and translate into English any bolded words to make sure that they know what those were. So students are listening, they're filling in what the word was, and then they're translating into English, so making sure that they understand it. So that's a few ideas that you can use with any story, especially using Senor Wooly. Hope you found this helpful. You can find more videos on our YouTube channel at Spanish Plans or on our blog, SpanishPlans.org. Thanks for listening. See you next time.